before we get any further, man, if you enjoy the video, you feeling the vibe, of the Wante crew, man. Oh, that sound corny. I ain't gonna lie, that sound corny. But if you fuck with the video, man, like, comment, and subscribe for me, man. It don't even cost $1. It don't even cost a penny. It don't even cost 50 cents. Like, comment, and subscribe. Man, do what I do sometimes, man. Sometimes I get on a video. I like it just because of the support, man. It don't cost a penny to like. And you don't even gotta subscribe. Just like the video. Just give me a like. I mean, it's not that hard, man. I mean, we all just trying to eat out here. We all trying to eat. And I'd like to see y'all eat. So let's get into the video.
Back with another video, man. There's one rapper that represented the future of Jacksonville's rap scene. It was Julio Foolio. Inspired by the harsh realities of his environment, Foolio spit some gritty bars that painted a raw portrait of his life on the streets.
Tell me this. Y'all tell me this. Do y'all think the environment you live in creates you? Tell me your opinion on that. My opinion, it can if you let it consume you, but you can always choose your route. But do y'all think your environment creates you? Let me know in the comments.
His music resonated with everybody who'd been down and out in the life. But the harsh life that inspired his music came to a tragic end on the 23rd of June, 2024, at just 26 years old. Foolio's historic beef with Young and Ace and his involvement in the bitter feud between the ATK and KTA gangs grabbed a lot of attention, but also basically guaranteed that he'd never see his 30s, which is sad as hell, man. Today we give you the complete timeline that led to Foolio's demise. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. Julio Foolio was born Charles Andrew Jones III in Jacksonville, the city he'd come to represent. Just by listening to his music, you can take a peek into the unique struggles that Foolio faced while he was growing up. Street-ish was around every corner, desensitizing the young Charles Jones. A lot of this street drama happened because Foolio lived in one of the worst areas in Jacksonville, the Hilltop Village apartments. Bullets would fly every direction. People of questionable morals constantly walked the streets, and the substance consumption was the norm. This wasn't just random melee that he witnessed, it was directly affecting him. When he was a jit, Foolio saw one of his best friends shot before his eyes. This was the moment when Foolio realized that he wasn't living a normal life. With his childhood innocence ripped away, Foolio had become a harder, tougher version of himself to survive. Shortly after he watched his friend take a bullet, Foolio decided to get a firearm of his own. A couple years later, Foolio went through another trauma when his father got into a fist fight with another man and ended up losing his life in the aftermath.
He had got in an altercation with somebody. He beat somebody up, right? And I guess after he beat the person up, the person couldn't take the ass with him, so they shot him. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't that normal? Not normal, but that's modern day right now. Like, I think it's like that too because niggas be recording and doing all this extra stuff, or feel like people gonna play with their name and all that other stuff. But yeah, that's like nowadays. That's how it is.
All in all, Foolio lost about 15 friends and loved ones by the age of 20, and each loss left a deep scar in his psyche that stayed with him to this very end. Now, the most traumatic moment of all came when Foolio was in the 9th grade. After getting randomly attacked and left with a bullet wound that nearly robbed him of his ability to walk, Foolio started to wonder how his life had gotten to this point.
I walked through the cut. I'd say probably like 5-10 minutes later, somebody pop out the cut and go boom, boom, boom. I got hit on my hip, and my hip popped out of place, and I was just crawling.
He thought about going back to school, but because he was involved in a shooting, the school refused to let him re-enroll. Throughout his childhood, Foolio had turned to music as his only escape. He had a SoundCloud where he posted his raps, but he didn't really take it seriously. When he realized that his school didn't want him around,
With HoneyBook, you can make sure your marketing business is as polished and professional as you really are. Here's how.
Foolio knew that he'd end up in prison if he didn't find something productive to do. This was when he started to focus on his rap career. The year was 2014, and even though he was mad talented, Foolio struggled to get noticed at first.
Right.
He's talked about his videos receiving hundreds of views at best, but this slow start wouldn't last for long.
Right.
In 2016, 2 years after he took his first baby steps into the rap game, Foolio released Coming Up in collaboration with Stunt and Los. All of the Jacksonville stood up and noticed the furious new rapper on the block.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just like got to a point where I wasn't getting views like 100,000. Like I was like getting like 1,000 views, 500 views at first. Then I wasn't picking up views and steam. I dropped my first real video. It's called Coming Up with me and like two of my other friends. They got like 300K, 400K. That one I was like, oh yeah, it's lit. I could like turn up for.
You hear that? You hear that? For all those that's out there trying, man, keep going. This man was living a crazy life, and he kept it going. Basically chose his route. But, man, I don't know what happened between that, but let's keep it going.
This was also the first real video, and the grainy footage fit right into Foolio's style. With his slippery, confident flow, the young rapper was able to make his mark on the growing Jacksonville drill scene, but unfortunately, danger was looming on the horizon.
Damn.
This is around the time that the KTA era first started. Pretty soon, he was feuding with the rival gang called ATK. These two gangs were notorious in the Jacksonville area for their violent ways, but Foolio felt like he needed protection after people started recognizing him. When he released his first few singles, Foolio had bona fide hits that put him on the radar. After being attacked in his teens and seeing so many loved ones lose their lives to guns, Foolio wasn't about to take any chances. This is why he and some of his fellow Jacksonville rappers decided to form KTA. However, the ATKs were also major players in Jacksonville, and their leader, Youngin Ace, had a reputation for beating people up and then bragging about it in his music. His group started a long, deadly feud with the KTAs, and the two gangs fought for territory as they allegedly ran their businesses.
And this is where it went downhill. Yep, I mean, he lived a life of this and that, and people died on his side, and he getting back. That's where it went downhill with the dissing on the tracks. That's where it went downhill. You doing the right thing. But as I say, he blew up. Who knows what that song was about? I don't know what that song was about when he blew up, but there you go right there. He started mouthing.
To take control of the city.
He started
in 2017, Foolio's trauma from when he was a kid came rushing back when his cousin Zion Brown was gunned down. Police arrested DeAndre Thomas, who was known for hanging with Ace in connection with the crime. The beef was only getting to get worse from there, with both gangs glocking up as they saw the beef heating up.
Zion Brown was the only adult in the home, along with two teens, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old boy. Today, police said DeAndre Thomas they charged him with.
In 2018, the KTAs fired back at Youngin Ace and his boys in a drive-by shooting, allegedly. Ace was hanging out with his brother and two friends for his birthday when a storm of bullets rained down on them out of nowhere. Ace got hit 8 times, but what probably hurt him more was the loss of his homie and his brother.
So that altercation, there was a and all of your people that were with you, your friends, and one of your brothers died, and you were the only one that survived.
Everybody thought that the attack came from the KTAs. And
I thought it was, I'm sorry, I put up 3. I thought it was 4 of them. 3 died and 1, and he didn't. I thought.
Started talking smack on social media about it. Ace got all the confirmation he needed.
Breaking overnight, Jacksonville police have arrested the only surviving victim of the quadruple that happened near the St. John's Town Center earlier this week.
Police say Kenyatta Bullard, who is also known by his rapper name Youngin Ace, is charged with probation. Last October, Bullard was sentenced to 31 months probation after appearing before a Clay County judge and pleading no contest to accessory after the fact.
A year later, each rapper publicly reacted to the attack in their own way. Foolio released Crooks, one of his most popular songs, in which he talked about the conflict and bragged about it and his role in it. Ace, on the other hand, released a song called Pain, a heart on his sleeve type of track that spoke plainly about dealing with his issues. In 2019, Ace allegedly decided to avenge his brother and friends properly. He wanted to give Foolio a taste of his own medicine, which meant that Foolio's little brother, the 16-year-old Lil Bibby, was on the line of fire. Bibby might have known the risk that came with the game, but he was just a kid at the end of the day. Even though he wasn't Julio Foolio's real family, they was like blood.
And erupts inside a Northwest Side apartment complex. It leaves this year-old. Neighbors say that he sounded like a war zone.
Sadly, Bibby became the next casualty in a beef that was getting more intense by the day. It happened on a cold February night, and pretty soon after, ATK rapper Queso released an album with deceased KTA members on the cover. Several tracks on the album reference Queso slaying KTA members, and there was at least one mention of him smoking Bibby. But the thing is, 5-0 saw this and thought this dude definitely had something to do with it. So they arrested him and charged him with the homicide a few months later.
Well, a couple months later, there was a rapper named K-Sue.
Yeah.
Who basically was posting videos bragging about, different KTA members, or whatever you want to call it, and he's talking about smoking Bibby.
Yeah.
And he actually got arrested for the Bibby.
Yeah.
January 16, 2019.
He really got arrested for Bibby? Like, did he do time for that? Like, they found evidence on this, that he killed them because of that song.
The rapper Willie Addison, known as Boss Goon, was taken out, and 5 others were wounded in Spring Park. The incident occurred as the group just left a rap music event at Paradise Gentlemen's Club on Bay Meadows Road. 2 weeks later, Damon Rothermel was shot while riding his bike on Emerson Street. Rothermel was hit by a stray bullet during a shootout between cars.
I guess 2 or 3 cars pulled up on the side of us, side our car over 100 times. My son in the front seat, my son in the back, in the head 3 times.
Damn.
My nephew several times. A couple more passengers in there with several times, numerous of times.
Then on January 15, 2020, 23-year-old Charles McCormick, also known as Lil Buck, was shot in Arlington during a daytime ambush in a shopping plaza.
Dang.
Everyone knew that the beef was about to reach a whole new level, and in 2020, Youngin Ace decided to rub salt in Foolio's wounds. You could tell that he'd recovered from the pain of their loss when he released the track Step Harder, cause he dissed Foolio and his gang like there was no
Told him, nigga, step harder. Told him, step harder. Yo, that's crazy, boy. These boys going crazy.
Well, he wasn't exactly.
I know I see a little pump on and little stuff, but it's like, yo, it's just that I remember when this was about. And I remember when they was putting out these tracks, and I was just listening to these men like, yo, these guys are guys are just like, come on now. As much as we turned into it, the police has turned into it.
Stuff he'd gone through, the track showed that he was ready to make another move. However, Ace wasn't going to move without thinking things through, and he knew that he had to finish Foolio off this time around, otherwise things would keep escalating until both gangs were wiped out. Ace kicked 2021 off with Who I Smoke, a track that openly acknowledged the people Foolio had lost, and the role Ace allegedly played in their demise. Not one to back down, Foolio responded with a diss track of his own called When I See You. The music video for this track showed Foolio lying down in a cemetery on top of pictures of Ace's deceased brothers and friends, clearly suggesting that he might have orchestrated the attack that left Ace reeling for months. Later on in 2021, Foolio released yet another track titled List of Dead Ops, which went directly for ATK's jugular by blatantly referencing the members that it lost. It wasn't until 2021 that Foolio felt the heart of the feud in all of its fury. This was when an unknown assailant shot at him over 100 times as he was leaving the studio for the night.
It's a whole 100 shots though. You know they sick right now. Whoever did it, they sick. One nigga had 2 choppers, 1 me. I'm blowing back. Trade it.
By some miracle, each shot missed his mark, and Foolio was able to make it out of the incident with only minor injuries. The fact that Foolio wasn't struck down meant that things weren't going to end anytime soon.
Right.
But what's weird is that things actually seemed to die down for about a year, but the peaceful vibes didn't last very long. Maybe Foolio started thinking he could rest easy, but what came next proved that he was completely wrong. In June of 2024, Julio Foolio was gunned down while celebrating his birthday.
We can't do my birthday, man.
Everybody know what it is. would have known all this nigga. This nigga known than you. He overcame the popularity you had from a deal coming towards him. And now he on top. And this nigga just letting niggas know. Like, I think in his birthday, he was just like, fuck it.
Jacksonville rapper Charles Jones, known as Julio Foolio, in Tampa. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Riley Phillips. The rapper was celebrating his 26th birthday. This happened outside a Holiday Inn. If you could take a look at this video, you can see the bullet holes riddling the front of the windshield of this car.
He traveled to Tampa that day to party with his friends and family. A word on the street is that his girl was hanging with them too. The party kicked off at an Airbnb before moving to a Holiday Inn nearby, and while Foolio stood in the parking lot, a masked man with an assault rifle started firing at him along with other hitters. The rapper's fatal mistake turned out to be posting his location to Instagram. So did other people in his crew, which told his attackers everything they needed to know. Just days after this went down, Ace decided to let everybody assume that he was behind the attack by releasing not just one, but 2 diss tracks. The first one was Do It, and that talks about how he gave his people the signal to take the shot. And in Game Over, he proudly tells the world that he won the war. Based on how everything is looking right now, it really does seem like Ace came out on top, but it came at a heavy cost. And in reality, the invoice probably isn't even finalized yet. In a weird turn of events out of nowhere, a man confessed to ending the life of the late rapper Julio Foolio for $10K. Young and Ace allegedly put the bounty up. Thursday, July 4th, a video surfaced online of an unnamed man. His face was partially covered, and the video was captioned, "I bagged Foolio for $10K. I'm the one who smacked Julio Foolio that night when he got dropped at his birthday celebration," he began. "I ain't show my face or give my identity away or nothing like that, but I did that."
On the dead homie.
For what? For what? Like this is the dumb shit that I don't be understanding. Like, yo, what? If you're gonna get on the internet and say you did it, but you gonna cover your face, what's the reason to it? Then just don't say nothing.
Put it on everything on my soul, on my kids, nigga. I'm the one that smacked Julio Foolio that night when he got dropped at his birthday celebration, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna show my face or give my identity away or nothing like that, but I did that, you feel me? It was money on his head, you feel me?
He continued alleging that Julio Foolio's longtime nemesis, Young and Ace, offered $10K to end his life.
And this is a nigga you did practically, if he did business with, like, these are the dumb niggas. Oh my God.
Man claimed that he did it for the money and doesn't feel sorry because Foolio had it coming to him. He also denied rumors the killing was gang related, saying Ace put that bread up and whoever wanted to take it could take it, so I took it. Rest in peace, Foolio.
Foolio had it coming to him, so I don't really feel sorry, you feel me? A lot of people think that, it was on some gang shit, and all that. Like, it ain't even really all that, you feel me? Like, bro, just, you feel me? Ace put that bread up, you feel me? And whoever wanted to take it, so I took that. You feel me? So, rest in peace, Foolio.
I mean, dude seems convincing, but he could be trolling for sure. If I had just caught a body, the first thing I would do was not think to show my eyes or speak on the situation. Nowadays, you never know though, because clout is a hell of a drug and everybody want to talk. But for now, I would take this with a grain of salt. All of this comes days after a post was made on Julio Foolio's Instagram story claiming that Julio Foolio was a demigod who could never be eliminated. The post also issues a warning that the world will be shocked real soon. Interesting stuff, no doubt. A couple of weeks before his demise, Foolio kind of predicted everything that was going to go down on the song God Don't Know. In the track he said, "How the F you gonna tell that lie straight to my face? Ish getting closer, Satan says I'm one shootout away. It's a snake inside my grass effing with ATK. I'm the one who passed out the spoons and put food on the plate." Based on the outcome of what happened and the fact that he was with his people when he got taken out, it is very probable that Julio could have been backdoored.
That's gonna be like, that shit hurt you. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, that shit hurt. Like, just a person like you would grow up with, them that share clothes with, know each other mama. That shit hurt. Yeah.
Hours before his demise, he also posted his coordinates and exact location. This allowed any of his ops to have the drop on him, which is a shame. Rookie mistake. But it's crazy that the life he had to live led to him having to have his head on a swivel 24/7.
Yes, it
As of
was.
now, the internet has a few ideas about who the suspects could have been, but nothing concrete as of yet. In terms of retaliation, 1200 Leakey's older brother Fizzle lost his life a couple days after Foolio. Many people online believe this was connected, but the streets is so wicked right now, it could have been totally separate events.
I know, right?
The cops and city officials are fully aware that retaliation is imminent, so they will treat every drill for the rest of the year as such.
Damn.
R.I.P. Foolio, man. Even though we know the life that these youngins lead, it don't make their demise any easier. The crazy thing is that by following the beef, you damn near got to watch Foolio grow up. He expressed that he might have been on borrowed time in the past, and your past always comes back to you. Bruh, a soldier and a Jacksonville legend. Nothing could take that away from him. For as long as bruh could, he stayed smart, stayed alert, and stayed real.
Yeah.
Thugs get tired too, man. I'm out, y'all.
That is the truth. That is the truth. And like he said, though, like he said, something about he had to keep his thing on, he had to keep his mouth on swivel and stuff like that. I mean, he really pretty much was doing it to himself. He was digging his own hole at the same time. I mean, yeah, you had your partners dying and shit. But sometimes, bro, man, you just gotta keep it moving, man. But I ain't even gonna lie, yo. That shit made them hot as hell. Like, they was flaming him and Ace. Them niggas was going back and forth. Everybody was just tuned into what they was gonna say next. Which really wasn't more they could say next. Like, alright, we killed this person, we killed that person. That's all they going back and forth, and they talking about the people he lost and the people he about to take, and man, it leads to nothing, man. But I guess it's let's see who can swivel through it and make something out of something.